Welcome back to the channel. It's me, Adam. You're watching Unlimited Options Investing. Our stocks, crypto, primed for an end of the year rally. The last few weeks have been pretty volatile in the markets. It looked like we were going to break out a couple of times before Thanksgiving, as well as right after the Fed meeting last Wednesday. And it looked like we were, up and coming. And then what happened? A big red candle, and then we were on the way back down. Choppy, volatile, but today looking like a pretty nice recovery. We gapped up. We sold off a bit, and then it looks like we're recovering again into the end of the close, so we'll have to see what Wall Street and big money does. So we're going to take a deeper dive into names like Tesla, NVDA, Shopify. Is it time to buy the dip? Is it time for them to break out, or are they just going to reject? We'll look at the major resistances on the charts. Bitcoin, Ethereum, it's going to be a good time. So if this is your first time stumbling on the channel, welcome aboard and hit that subscribe button. Here at Unlimited Options Investing, we talk everything stocks, crypto, options, ETFs. We're investing for the long term. As always, we're going to smash that like button and let's get started. All right, so firstly, looking at the S&P 500, the SPY is up 1.63% so far. So we can see we gapped up, sold off a little bit, and then have been grinding up higher ever since pretty much 11 in the morning. The NASDAQ up even higher, up 2.06%. Similar idea, we gapped up, sold off a little bit to yesterday's previous close, and then continued grinding up higher from around that same time. And taking a look at the Dow Jones, this one we gapped up and then actually continued moving up higher as the session moved on. This one up 1.52% today. So the first thing I want to take a look at on the candlestick charts is Bitcoin. So this one went up, and what it actually did was it blasted through the 20 and the 50 EMA on the 4-hour time frame, as well as this previous trend line that I had drawn at the top of the resistances from, let's say, the beginning of December after that big sell-off on that first weekend of December. So we've broken through it, and now we're consolidating above that, and that's pretty hopeful. So let's see if we can continue finding buying pressure in these areas and then continuing to move higher. And then our first target will be that $50,000 mark, and then 52, and then this line over here at 54, and then it could potentially be on for Bitcoin as well as the other markets. But again, we're just getting some relative strength in the short term. Let's see if it actually is sustainable and that there can continue being more buying pressure as we move forward. Because this could just be a bull trap. It could bounce up for one day and then continue selling off higher, and this could just be an anomaly. So we have to get in confirmation first before we get that much more confident. Let's take a look at Ethereum as well. Are we seeing something similar? We are. So we went through that 20 and that 50 EMA. You can maybe draw like a downtrend potentially in this area, and then we're breaking through it over here. But the main point is that we're breaking through that 20 and that 50. We want to see buying pressure, sustained buying pressure, and climb back above that 4,000 level mark. And after that, maybe 4,200, 4,400, 4,500, and then continue grinding up higher from there. So taking a look at the indices, Dow Jones, NASDAQ, and the S&P 500, what I want to notice is, okay, so today we gapped up. So what we could potentially be seeing again into the end of the year is rallying past these moving averages, past the resistances, and continuing to test previous highs. If we look at the S&P 500, similar story where we gapped up. We sold off a little bit, remember, and now we're sitting between the 50 and the 20 on the daily, and right now we're pushing against that 20 EMA. So let's see if we can continue, again, get that confirmation and push through, and no different again. See how it all aligns together, no different with the NASDAQ 100. Again, we gapped up, sold off, filled in that gap, and now sitting between the 20 and the 50 EMA. Let's see again if we can break through it and confirm some kind of pattern. We could say this is a double bottom perhaps from the end of November and where we are right now, with the potential of Monday hunting a lot of stop losses. Capitulation setting in, and then further rally going forward. However, again, if we can't break the 20 EMA on any one of these indices, that means that we're going to have continued weakness. Bitcoin and Ethereum will probably continue selling off, and we aren't going to get the rally that some people could be hoping for. And that's a complete possible reality that we have to take into consideration. Nothing is for sure in the stock market. Things can change very, very quickly. If you look at the IWM, this one has also had a pretty positive day. So we went as low on this one as 209, below the line we drew at 210, and recovering now. And we're still below the 20 and the 50, so looking for that 20 EMA being that first point of resistance, then probably the 220 level, and the 50 EMA will probably be at that point if it does get there. So some stocks that are up big today, firstly being Shopify. And this was one that I was buying pretty aggressively in this past dip, as it had been trading as low as it had been for the last 6 months. Its RSI as low as it's been in months as well. And there was previous resistance at these levels back in April of this year as well as December of last year. So previous resistance potentially turning into new support. And because this is a long-term investment for me, I don't mind buying the dip on this one. I'm not trying to get the perfect price, just averaging into my position long-term. And when we even take a look at it on the weekly, we can see that it was below that 50 EMA, and usually when it's in that area, it often finds buying pressure. So it looks like it's working out pretty nicely for now. And looking at NVDA, this one looked like it still had potential to fall, but again, you never know where the buyers are potentially going to step in. You can do all the technical analysis you want, but I mean, you never truly know where the buyers and the sellers are going to be duking it out. You can have those levels and areas of interest, but who's to say it ever gets to those levels? So it looks like the buyers have stepped up for now, but again, monitoring those 20 and that 50 EMA if we do get any further weakness from here. And looking at the FANG index on the daily, and this one again, whenever it's below its 50 EMA, it ends up being a pretty nice buy. Big technology has been pretty depressed over the last couple of weeks with all the volatility, but as much as they're growing, they're also looked at as defensive companies because of how predictable their business models are, their profitabilities, their margins. But at the same time, someone can argue that they're overvalued and 2022 could be the year that the balloon pops, or maybe they just continue getting bigger and continue growing into their valuations. And of course, talking about Tesla. So we filled in the gap earlier this week where we filled in that 910. Today we actually dropped below 900 again. So like the rest of the market, we gapped up, sold off as the day went on, but we've recovered very nicely, right now sitting at $935 a share. So is that it for now? We filled in the gap and now we're going to start recovering like the rest of the market. We still have to get back above the 20 and that 50 EMA, so that $1,000 level is going to be a very interesting level for Tesla, anywhere between 900 and 1,000. Exactly how we have drawn over here, as well as this trend line that we have that's quickly going to be approaching. So Tesla stock is being very heavily eyed by both traders and investors alike. Alright, and that's the end of my video. Thank you very much for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Let me know if you think stocks and crypto are just going to fake out again, they're going to hit their resistances and then continue selling off, or if we're going to finally break through and continue testing those all-time highs that we hit a month or two ago. So again, subscribe and like, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video.